Hello and Happy New Year, family. My name is Chris. I am your home gamer dad. And about this time last year, I ended up putting out two videos from the Family Meeting series that talked about board games and video games that I anticipated in the year 2023. Well, now here it is at the end of the year, and I want to start making this more of a yearly tradition now. Two videos, one focusing on video games, the other focusing on board games, both looking at what it is that I had received and came into my collection from the previous year, and then also my big excitement, my anticipation for what's coming next year. So this one is going to focus on video games, the ones that I've received and played in 2023, and the ones I am looking forward to in 2024. Pull up a chair, let's get this family meeting started. Sorry if I sound all like nasally and congested and whatnot. I was really trying to avoid it for the end of the year, but it got me, with 3 kids running around. It was only a matter of time before I caught some type of cold or head thing or whatever. But hey, I did my best to try to get it, but it's not going to stop me from talking to you guys about what great year that I had in the realm of gaming in general, both video games and board games. Like I said, it's going to be two different things here. So for video games, this time last year, I had a list of a bunch of games that came out month by month that I was looking forward to from January to, I believe, May or so. I'm going to actually just kind of cherry pick a few from that list that affected me some way this year, whether it be something I was really looking forward to or something I got or something like that, and just kind of give you the stats about where that game is within my collection. After I do that, I'm going to talk about 5 games that I'm looking forward to coming in 2024. Well, technically 4 games, and one is a hope, but we'll see how that goes. And then there's going to be an area at the end of 5 games that I'm looking forward to actually getting because I managed to get a pretty significant upgrade to my gaming consoles within the past 2 weeks of this video, actually. That's going to really change things quite a bit for 2024. Of course, this is all my opinion. These are the games that I like to play. These are the ones that I find the most enjoyment for. You'll probably have a whole different list on your end. So from you, I would love to hear what was your highlight of a video game for 2023. You can even give me your low light. I'd like to know what the bottom level was it as well. And then, of course, what are you most looking forward to in 2024? What game, whatever is coming out for any one of your consoles? It doesn't matter. It could be the Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC. Doesn't matter what it is. What video game are you most looking forward to in 2024 that has a pretty decent release date? There are a few out there that are kind of like question marks, as would be the case on most things. But there are a few in the early year that I'm looking forward to that seem to have solid dates on them, whereas there's a few that's out there. So I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think about how your gaming year was and what you expect it to be in the upcoming year. Move myself over a little bit, give myself some room for pictures, videos, whatever I really want to throw over here, just to give you something fun to look at and represent what it is that I'm talking about when I'm going through these lists. Speaking of which, let's start them off. So last year in 2022, one of the very first games that I mentioned on stuff that I was looking forward to within this past year was Dead Space, the Dead Space remake. And oh man, I really, really, really wanted to play this game. I really desperately did, but unfortunately, I did not have a PS5. I didn't have an Xbox, nor did I have the money or anything in order to get them. So unfortunately for this one, I did not purchase this, nor have I played it. But I have watched a bunch of walkthroughs on it, people playing it for the first time. Just stuff that you would normally find Let's Plays, things like that on YouTube. I still enjoy a good Let's Play. If it's something that I'm really invested in and a game that I really enjoy, I have no problem watching like 3 or 4 different, YouTubers or whatever, whether it be top names or, people that only have like a few hundred subscribers. Doesn't matter. We all started on the bottom, so I like giving that type of support to people as well. And plus, I just like seeing different ways people play games. So Dead Space, unfortunately, is one of those games that I haven't played yet. In addition to that, Resident Evil 4 Remake. This is another one I was very highly anticipating because I'm a huge Resident Evil 4 fan, and I'm just a huge Resident Evil fan in general. Resident Evil 4 was a great game, by all means. I loved it. The remake, I wasn't sure what to think of it, but I'm glad that it was made. And again, I haven't played it. Sorry, have not played that one yet. Don't have it in my collection. I could have, because it did come out on PS4, but I am kind of glad I waited, to be honest with you. Number one, because of Separate Ways, which was the additional storyline mode that you would play as Ada Wong when it was released on the PlayStation 2 way back in the day, and showed like her path during the events of Resident Evil 4. That actually didn't come out until like October of this year, like months after the game was released. So I'm glad I waited for that. And then also September of next year, of 2024, is the Gold Edition of Resident Evil 4. So as would be for Resident Evil Gold editions, you're going to get everything in that as well. So I'm just going to wait for that and pick that up later in the year when it's out, when it's a little bit cheaper, when I get everything together. So those are, unfortunately, 2 games from that list that I have not played, that I want to play, that I will be able to play, actually. I'll go over that in a little bit, but the next one I want to talk about is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Of course, the most anticipated Zelda game for the year, and of course, a follow-up to Breath of the Wild, which I absolutely loved. So, I didn't really play many video games this year. I have a very small amount of hours that I invested into my gaming this year for video games, because a lot of it was on board gaming. I got really big into that. I love doing everything, for you guys on YouTube and for myself and things along that ways. And then also with 3 kids, because my wife and I, we had our 3rd son was born in June, so now going through the newborn phase and everything for those months and whatnot, 0 time, 0 sleep, 0 energy to sit down and play a game. I could not bring myself to play Tears of the Kingdom, which came out around the time that my son was born. I just couldn't. I couldn't invest the time or the energy into it. I also heard some kind of whatever reviews for it, so one day I'll play it. I will. I've seen some bits of it here and there. People have talked to me about it. I kind of know the stories and whatnot. I don't know. I'm really more waiting for a more standard Zelda game to come out. Something a little bit more linear, go from dungeon to dungeon to dungeon, get your things and whatnot. Tears of the Kingdom, nothing bad about it. I mean, plenty of people have things to say. I haven't played it, so I can't fully talk about it, but one day I'll play it. Yeah. And as for games I did play this year, or at least I should say, number 1, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. That was a must-have game that came out right around my birthday in April. I had to get it. That was something that needed to be in my collection as soon as possible. And lo and behold, I got it, and it was fantastic. I've gone through Mega Man 1 completely, Battle Network 1 completely. I've done the storyline and maybe 1 or 2 sections of World 3 and Battle Network 2, and I'm about halfway done through Battle Network 3. Now, again, these are not really long games, but in order to get 100% complete, which is what I like to do, it's a lot of time and investment in them. So it's just it's getting the motivation to do it and then having the time to do it as well. So I'm going to work my way through 3 a little bit more. I just got to re-pick it up and restart it and just go straight through. I am looking forward to 4, 5, and 6 because that's when the Soul Cross, Soul Unison, and whatever system started, which were some of my favorite parts of the Battle Network series. And then, of course, just knowing that I have the game is fantastic and makes me smile. Another one that I got that's on the list that I'm just going to add at the end of this list here is Advanced Wars. What was it? Advanced Wars Reloaded 1 and 2. This is basically Advanced Wars 1 and 2 rebrought to the Switch. I have yet to open it. I have yet to actually play it, but I have it, and that's where that one stands, unfortunately. Now, there were other games on that list that I mentioned. Tales of Symphonia, Fatal Frame 4, I believe, was the other one. And these games did come out through the year. It's just, I was excited for them. I liked that they were out, but there wasn't really a motivation in order to pick them up. And you know what it is? I love Tales of Symphonia, but I just don't have the mode to play it. I would rather play it with somebody because that's how I initially experienced the game. And then with Fatal Frame, I love the series. The series is so good, but at the same time, it's I don't know why. I just haven't pulled the trigger in order to pick up that one or the number 5. I really want a Fatal Frame 1, 2, and 3, what is it, like a box set of sorts. Give us all 3 remastered, something, whatever. Just give us some ports or whatever, some updated graphic ports of Fatal Frame 1, 2, and 3. Give it to us on the PlayStation, give it to us on the Switch, give it to us on the Xbox. Trust me, those will sell if it's a 3-pack, and people will get back into the series and encourage it again. That's what I want. That's what I'm hoping for. That, unfortunately, is something I'm not going to get. But that kind of covers the list that I did last year at the end of the year, talking about everything that came out in 2023 and where they sit in my collection right now. Hopefully, I'll get into Advance Wars soon, but I do got to beat Battle Network. But there is also still hope for some of the other ones. Before I get into why there's hope for them in the year, let me talk about games that I am looking forward to in 2024, which unfortunately at this point is a very short list. There's really only 4 games on the list, and number 5 for this list is really more of a hope, something that I hope is said, is mentioned, or something along that way, is that the company is like, hey, we're doing this, and that's going to be extremely exciting. So number 1 is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I did play Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I actually rather enjoyed it. Now, I'm an old school Final Fantasy player. I played 7, 8. I played 1, 2, 3. 3 wasn't even 3 in the United States. Wasn't that 6 or something like that? It was some weird number jumbles or whatever. But I played a ton of the Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy VIII was actually one of my first Final Fantasies on the newer systems. It was the first Final Fantasy I played on the PlayStation. Then 7 came along, and I played that. 9, 10, I love, I love Final Fantasy, and I loved playing Final Fantasy VII Remake and seeing how they took that, I don't know, opening 3-4 hours of the game and stretched it into the game that it is. And I'm understanding what they're doing with the story in terms of being able to rewrite it the way they want it to, but still have a lot of familiarity to it that when you're playing it, you're like, oh, I know where that is, I know what that is, I know what that is. So Rebirth is looking to be very cool, very interesting, and something that I'm looking forward to playing in 2024 when it's released. I believe it's released in February. Also in February, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I have been super into the Batman Arkham series lately. I'm almost done, like completely 100% complete with Arkham City. I did it with Arkham Asylum. I'm going to go on to Origins, and I've never actually played Arkham Knight, and it's there. And then Gotham Knights is available right now, PSN free download. So I have all this Batman and all of this open world run around DC universe excitement that Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League is just very exciting to me. I was seeing now more of that show up because that's the type of game I've been into, and I'm like, this is awesome, this is great. I love seeing how they're taking a lot of these comic book things and turning them into these really cool video games, and I have high hopes for it. Sadly, I did for the movie as well, and that didn't really work out, but hey, you know what, maybe the game will be better. At least, you'll be able to play some cool characters and, get out there and play an anti-hero for once, or just a straight villain, whatever. Next are 2 games that will be coming out on the Switch this year. Princess Peach Showtime and Super Mario RPG. Now, Super Mario RPG is kind of a no-brainer for me. Technically speaking, also, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is also coming. So that's 3. There you go. There's 5. So Paper Mario Thousand Year Door coming out for the Switch, Super Mario RPG, and Princess Peach Showtime. Yes, all within the Mario world, which is very odd. But every one of those games just is awesome. I loved Super Mario RPG. Thousand Year Door is my favorite Paper Mario ever, hands down, and to see it come to the Switch is like, give me that. I want it now. So those 2 will be a no-brainer buy. I don't even care if it sits in the wrapping for the rest of the year. As long as I have it, I have it. And then Super Princess Peach, we did that. That's already a game. This is Princess Peach Showtime. It's Peach's game. Why wouldn't I want a game that features just Peach going around and saving the theater, I guess? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care what it's about because I just want to play as Peach. I want to transform her into all of her cool abilities. I want to give her sword, her whatever she has and everything, and just play this game with her. So out of many of the games that are coming out, those 3 for Nintendo, kind of like how last year's was, I had my Nintendo games that I absolutely wanted and the rest I could get whenever. But I really want those games. I really do. And you guys let me know what your opinions are of them down in the comments below. But Super Mario RPG, no-brainer. Thousand Year Door, way no-brainer. Princess Peach, because why not? I do have one big hope, and this is what I was talking about before, for 2024. Now, Capcom has announced that they will not be releasing a remake Resident Evil in 2024. That does not mean that they won't be announcing something in 2024 about coming in next year, 25 or something along that ways, which is fine. Let's give the remakes the time to just kind of do their own thing, bring them out again, re-release them, who knows, whatever they want to do and whatnot. But I am hoping at some point during this year that Capcom comes out and says, we are doing a remake of Dino Crisis and or Code Veronica X. I mean, I'd even accept Resident Evil 5 at this point, but I think Code Veronica really needs to remake first. That is one of the few Resident Evils that I've only played maybe like once or twice because I just couldn't, it was a little annoying for me to play. I didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite Resident Evil game. I liked it better than Zero, but I would love to see that come out and just in a new light with the new RE engine, with the new twists and turns and everything like that. I think that would be awesome. And then Dino Crisis itself needs the remake. It needs a remake. It needs to come back out. We need to see Regina again. We need to have a true scary dinosaur game. I think I saw something recently that Jurassic Park Survivor or something like that is coming out, which is kind of in the same realm, but you can't, I don't know, like it's scary running around from the dinosaurs, but once you hear the Jurassic Park theme, it's like a lot of that fear goes away from me for some reason, so I'm not going to really put that in a true survival horror sense until I played it for myself. But Dino Crisis needs its love. Dino Crisis needs to be back into the mainstream again. Capcom, you're leaving money on the table there. You seriously are. please give us those remakes, or at least announce them that they're coming out, so we have something to look forward to in 2025. Speaking of 5, specifically the PlayStation 5. That was a good segue. Yours truly has finally upgraded from his PlayStation 4 to a PlayStation 5 within the past week or so. Now, it was an interesting story the way that this worked out. My wife's mother's friend, Michelle, her husband passed away earlier this year. You know, rest in peace, Steve. Steve was an awesome guy. She's an awesome woman. When my wife's mom used to live down in South Jersey, that was like her best friend. And since then, her mom has moved up here, but those two have still been in contact. Michelle's husband died, and she started kind of getting rid of his stuff and everything, you know, selling off some things and whatnot. And he had a PlayStation 5, a few different games, monitors, all kinds of cool stuff and everything like that. And she did offer it to me at the first, but I mean, my wife was just getting ready to go out on maternity leave. Our money situation wasn't that great and everything like that. And I couldn't give her what it is that she was looking for. So she started to go out and try to sell it on her own. Unfortunately, she gets in her mind that even though this is a used, older PS5, she thought that she can get the most out of it, you know, like almost $400, $500 for it, which is what they are new in a sense. And nobody was biting all of this time. And now all of a sudden, this past month or so, she goes to my wife's mom and it's like, does Chris still want the PlayStation 5? And she explains to her, like, listen, he'll take it, but he can't give you anything for it because he doesn't have anything. He would rather you sell it to try to get some money for it because you could use the money more. And Michelle, with her great, great heart and everything, said, no, this is what Steve would have wanted. He will take care of it. He'll play it. He'll enjoy it. And thus, I acquired myself a PlayStation 5. And she is amazing. I'm going to treat her very well in the upcoming years. Whatever she needs, she gets. I'll go drive down South Jersey and fix whatever she wants in her house, something like that. I'll make it up for her in the long run. But now that I have a PS5, I can now look forward to a lot of games in 2024, most of them on the PS5. So let's start with Dead Space and Resident Evil 4. I mentioned them earlier in this video. So in 2024, I am absolutely going to be playing those two. I'm going to play Dead Space as soon as I possibly can, probably early January, you know, right after the holidays, you know, see what I get for Christmas and, you know, what comes in, what I can use to possibly, you know, if I get any gift cards or whatnot, go and buy it from there. But I'm definitely going to be getting Dead Space as soon as I can in order to play that on my PlayStation 5. Resident Evil 4, I'm still going to wait until September. Going to wait for that gold edition to come out, and I'll get it from there. Still good to play on the PlayStation 5. Other things I'm looking forward to in 2024, of course, on PlayStation 5, all which have been released. Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, and Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. Well, Master Collection 1 is what they put it as. I'd be curious of what the other ones are going to be. In any event, that has the original Metal Gear on it. That has Metal Gear 2, Sons of Liberty, and 3, which, you know, Snake Eater, which I really need to play again to get into it. And a lot of the original stuff as well. Just to have the crossover here in my board game video that you're going to see of this, I'm going to be anticipating the Metal Gear Solid board game coming out. So I feel 2024 is going to have a lot of Metal Gear for me if I happen to get that collection, plus the board game, plus all of that together. It's going to be awesome. I love the Metal Gear series so much. They're so good. God of War, I played the first God of War. Well, the more modern God of War, the one that with him and Atreus going through all like the realms and things along that ways. I got the card game. Again, crossover. Simon did announce a minis game for God of War Ragnarok that they are going to be putting out in 2024. That's again going to be in the next video, but figure I'd mention it here because it relates to the video game. I can't wait to play that because I want to see the continuing adventures of those two and see what the Data War does next. And then Spider-Man 2. I love the first Spider-Man game. It was fantastic. I did download Miles Morales recently, so I will be playing that probably as soon as I'm done with Arkham City, just to give Batman a little bit of a breather of sorts in my brain. Play through Miles Morales, see how that story is, and then really get hyped up for Spider-Man 2. And yes, these are all PlayStation 5 games. There's other, like the Nintendo Switch, I'll be able to play those games off that I mentioned before and whatnot. I don't really do PC. I don't have an Xbox, and board games is its own thing. So all 5 games that I'm looking forward to the most for 2024 are games that have already been released on the PlayStation 5, but because I haven't had a PlayStation 5 to play them, or just the other means to play them or whatever, I can't wait for them. I can't wait to get my hands on these games. Again, specifically Dead Space. You are my number one, my friend. I'm going to get that. I'm going to play the heck out of it, and it is going to be awesome. So there you have it, everyone. My video game lists of things that I received and anticipated in 2023 and how they turned out, plus games in 2024 that are coming out or ones that I'm looking forward to as well. As I mentioned before, I want to hear all about yours down in the description below. Games that you absolutely love this year and games that you can't wait to play next year. I am just looking forward. I feel like 2024 is a little bit of a lull in the video game industry right now. Like, this year had so many heavy hitters come out, so many big games, so much like hype around all different things that next year I haven't seen too many big stuff other than what I mentioned. Again, that's also just my opinion. That's just the games that I like to play and the ones that interest me the most. I could be wrong as the year goes on. I could be finding games left and right on the shelves and whatnot that are just fantastic to play, that I need to pick up as soon as possible, and when I do, experience them for the first time. But in any event, that's what I have for you guys, and I want to hear what you think as well. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Be sure to check out my family meeting of board games that I not only played in 2023, but anticipate in 2024. That's either out right now or coming out in a day or two, give or take. By all means, go over, check that out. Let me know what you think. And of course, to make sure that you don't miss that video or any other fun video I have to put out going forward, because I got a lot of stuff on my mind coming out for the upcoming year. Be sure you are subscribed to the Home Gamer Dad. Share the video, like the video, leave your comments, all that good stuff. And if you wish to support the channel even further, I have all of that down in the description section below. Whatever you can do, whatever you got, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. As always, take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together, meeting adjourned, but let's keep the conversation going down in the comment section. You guys have been amazing, and I'll see you for the board game video. Till then, later.